Hey everyone, welcome back to the Poplar Report. We got reports coming from you guys from around the world. We have South Africa checking in, Australia checking in. We got some serious issues with logistics going on, partially due to financial collapses out there of a major trucking firm that does refrigerated products, and what's going to happen with that and all the products that they moved. That's a big deal. We're going to get into that as well as a whole bunch of other reports. Let's jump into northeast Wisconsin. Madam K in northeast Wisconsin says milk is now going bad in 2 days and has an expiration date for many more days. This has happened to me 3 times and again also with cottage cheese. Ground beef tastes different. I've seen issues with ground beef where I am here in Pittsburgh, and that's very real there. Not sure what they are doing to the food here, but it is spoiling very fast. We are seeing a lack of quality out there, and what exactly is going on with all this stuff? Why is food going bad so fast? That is a legitimate question out there. I've heard it from a lot of you, and we're just throwing that out there. What is going on with meat as well as chicken and dairy that is causing it to be so short-dated? It's going bad. Whether there's issues in the logistics chain where refrigeration is being lost or what, I don't know. Parrot Africa, who lives in South Africa, says stats show South Africans are now buying groceries on credit. This is coming from Discovery Bank, sorry. So now it's food with interest for many more middle-class folks in South Africa. Inflation is killing us. And unfortunately, it's just bound to get worse. South Africa is having major electrical problems. Their power generation is just dropping off. And as they delay maintenance on their power units in order to kind of keep the lights on as best they can, it is causing more and more problems that are accelerating. Aradia in Australia, Scott's Refrigerated Logistics is going through insolvency, and it could result in more than $500 million worth of frozen food being at risk and it being binned after a giant Australian trucking company collapsed. So we have $500 million worth of frozen goods that are up in the air in Australia. Whether they will actually find their way to the shelf or whether they will be thrown away is a matter of what happens next with some of these. When the power gets shut off, if the refrigeration gets shut off to where these things are stored, they just lose value. But the power company doesn't want to keep powering a warehouse that they're not getting paid for, right? Corker X says, eggs are back. This morning at my Food Lion near Williamsburg, Virginia, had a display full of eggs, and the price for 12 white store brand eggs was $2.29. Last week they were $4.09 per dozen. And we're seeing those prices kind of spreading, folks. Egg prices are dropping dramatically, but remember, this is kind of like a whiplash. The prices went up so much that people stopped buying eggs, and because they stopped buying eggs, they suddenly got stuck with a whole bunch of eggs. The shortage is still there, but what we did find was that when prices went up that much, people really did stop buying eggs. So expect there to be a second whiplash where it goes back up because people start buying eggs in a hurry. And you might want to be one of them that goes out and buys the cheap eggs and stores them up. Remember, you can freeze them by cracking them open and freezing the eggs. Get rid of the shells, but you can crack them, put them into a ice cube tray, and then you can freeze them and then pop them out of the ice cube tray into a Ziploc bag. You can also scramble them up and then pour them into Ziploc bags and then freeze them that way. You can freeze them in multiple different ways. You can water glass them if you replace the bloom on them by using mineral oil. You can water glass them if you put the mineral oil on them. Make sure you follow directions on how to do that properly. But the egg price may come spiking back for another bit. But it does seem like that if it goes up too much, that people will stop buying eggs again. So It should find a happy medium somewhere between where they are now and the price that they were. Is where they will land price-wise for a while until they can start replacing the hens that do the laying. Sandy says, things are getting crazy. We had 2 masked men rob a city carrier, postal carrier, in Indian Ridge Road at gunpoint. They took the LLV, which is the delivery vehicle, right, and his arrow key that opens all the postal blue boxes in the city, Johnson City, Tennessee, and all of the mail. That's crazy. Eclatos, energy costs from our local electric co-op has gone from about 2.1 cents per kilowatt hour to 3.9 cents per kilowatt hour, an increase of 56%. People here in Virginia, Piedmont area are struggling, but there is, and this is sarcastic, right? There is only a 6% inflation. Wims Inquisitive says, I'm Canadian from Ontario. I don't know if it's just my region, but we aren't having many issues with food on the shelves. Price is up a little, but no problem with supplies. We did have a woke council that used up a bunch of our money on promoting evil, but we got rid of the council and things seem fine now. Well, I hope that things are fine for a lot of people out there in the future, right? But it's still not normalized out in a lot of places yet. And we're seeing some other issues kind of poking their head up, right? Pince Runner says, Aldi in Lake Wales, Florida, no meat last week. Coolers were taped off with a sorry sign. Katie says Petco is well stocked on canned food this week. So if you're looking for canned cat food, you might want to check out Petco. They may be good. It may be just local. It may be that they are getting better supplies. Kathy P says, this is crazy, but there is no cornstarch at any store where I live. Am in the United States. Anyone else seeing this problem? Sounds silly, but important to an oldster who uses it to thicken things with. If you're seeing cornstarch issues out there, let us know. Of course, any updates that you send, you can either use the word update in a comment, try to give us a geographical location, better, a little more localized than the United States if you can, okay? And then also you can email them directly to me at Poplar preparedness at gmail.com. You can find that, of course, on the channel page if you're looking for that, or in the description, as always. Walmart Supercenter in Hamburg, New York. No 40-pack bottles of water. And that's from Jackie. Rose C says Kroger in North Texas, store brand eggs were $2.59 a dozen, down from $4.99. So we are seeing those prices spreading. Someone kind of pointed out the derailment in Springfield, Ohio. I reported on that last week. Parrot Africa also says that the USA wants South Africa to cease future military exercises with China and Russia. Of course, South Africa is part of the BRICS society, and they probably will not listen to the United States on that. And then, of course, someone pointing out the bank run in Silicon Valley. I did a whole video on that yesterday. Folks, keep your eyes out there and let us know what you're seeing. If you're seeing things at your workplace, if you're seeing shortages, if you're seeing issues with production, let us know about that. You can always email me directly if you want to keep more anonymous. Just say you don't want me to use your name. And we will do that. All right, folks, thanks so much for watching. If you found this video useful or helpful, you might want to check out that video right there, or you can always subscribe if you have been unsubscribed by the powers that be. I will see you guys later. Steve Poplar, out.